So via kissing, yeah, they can spread via kissing. So kissing is, includes, lip to lip kissing as well. Or if your mouth makes contact with the genitalia, either the vagina or the anal area, it can spread via that as well. So all these things you have to be careful. The type of STI that spreads via kissing is something called infectious mononucleosis. And if they have any open, like a blister on the lip or any sores, so that's significant of herpes, that can also spread via kissing. Other STIs which are transmitted via bodily fluids, like the ones I mentioned in the viral STIs. If you have a cut in your mouth, an ulcer, a sore, so then that's also how they can spread via kissing. So you have to, preferably be careful. And apart from this, via sharing of sex toys, also STIs can spread. But so we call them fomites. Any object that's transferred, which can transfer germs from one person to another is called a fomite. So a lot of diseases can spread via that. In case of STIs, you need a large amount of the bacteria or virus to spread it. So it's very rare, but yes, it can spread via sharing sex toys or towels which have not been cleaned for a very long time. But again, it's very rare. When we come to pools, now most of our pools are chlorinated and they are cleaned regularly. So that, you don't expect any STIs to spread via pools. But if you're swimming in a pool that's not been cleaned for a long time, or a pond or something like that, a lake, a pond outside, then one of the STIs called trichomonas does survive in this water. So theoretically, it can spread via pool water. These are all rare instances. Mostly, this does not happen, but yeah, we have noted cases.
Also, there's no such thing as it spreading through toilet seats, right?
Nothing documented that we know of, no.
Right.
Very sterile. Wash them every time they use with an antiseptic, or at least wipe it. Preferably, as far as possible, don't share, because sharing can, lead to, though it's a very small chance of transmission, but it can lead to transmission of certain sexually transmitted infections. Now, if someone has an ulcer, a cut, which may even occur post, say, removing the hair in that area via shaving or, something like that, if they have a cut. So there's directly body fluids may also be transmitted from one to the other. So preferably use your own, keep them clean and replace them regularly. That's what I would say.
But if someone is masturbating without sex toys, then what?
There's no risk.
Yeah. Okay. The other question was, I think, with regard to the HPV vaccine, if I'm not wrong, can the vaccine be taken after the age of 25?
So ideally to be taken before the age of sexual activity, but yeah, it can be taken even later after the age of 25 if you've never got it. Now the government, in their vaccination schedule, they have introduced it. It's been recommended in a lot of guidelines also that it's introduced to girls, but as young as 9-10 years of age. But a lot of people of, say, your generation or mine missed out on it. So if you haven't got it, you should take it, because why this age limit is there is that the highest chance of getting exposed to the germ or the virus that causes cervical cancer is before the ages of 30. But you get the symptoms later on in life. So it's always better to take the vaccine than not to take it. Not just STIs and not just lice, but in general, pubic hair can lead to other issues as well, because it may cause trapping of moisture if it's excessively long or not maintained. So even what we call fungal infections or yeast infections can occur. Even if it's not been cleaned for a while, urinary tract infections may occur, UTIs may occur because of it. So this is what I tell my patients, that always it's up to you how you want to remove it, or whether you want to remove the hair or not. But the minimum that you should do is with a blunt tip scissor, which is sterile and cleaned well, try to cut it, trim it, and keep it short at regular intervals. Other methods, whatever you prefer, you can use. Shaving sometimes does lead to, nicks and cuts. So in case that happens, try to use an antiseptic cream, wash the area, clean it, and use a cream after shaving if that happens to you. All other methods, whatever suits you, is okay. So there are creams, there are lotions that are available that we can apply. But of course, the first step is that, there are shampoos, creams, lotions. So it depends on the type of patient we have. And if they're not allergic to anything, we would give them that medicine. And once it's been cleaned, then of course tell them to trim and keep the hair short so it doesn't happen again. All the underwear should also be washed in an antiseptic solution, and preferably they should wear slightly loose cotton underwear for a while. So all of these.